Welcome to Nuclear Throne. Well, Nuclear Throne Ultra mod. It is a mod about making the game a bit more interesting to those who have played it. I will simply say this, I have made it to the Nuclear Throne a limited amount of times and looped probably twice. But that's not going to stop me. So let's just get right into it. I think I'm remembering why I initially disabled sounds for this game. Because these are not only absurdly loud, but obnoxious. So yeah, editing me here. Just so you know, I'm about to make the audio really loud so you can hear what it sounded like. Okay. So, as you're probably unaware, because this is a comparatively old game, yet again I have chosen something from a while back that I've owned for ages and really love playing every now and again. What was the point I was getting at? Oh yeah. As you're probably unaware, the Nuclear Throne is the... I suppose it's just the general loop equivalent you find in other games of similar genres, whether that be the... God, I'm gonna get this wrong, aren't I? And everyone's gonna be mad at me. Anyway, the Celestial Teleporter in Risk of Rain 2. I didn't play the first one that much. 2D's not my greatest style when it comes to a game like Risk of Rain. But at the same time, I praise Dead Cells for being bloody epic. Yeah, whatever. So, the shorthand objective is beat the Nuclear Throne. You know, go through an amount of stages that is not on that screen because Nuclear Throne Ultra mod, which I will now call NTU because my god, that's a mouthful. But yeah, once you do that certain amount of stages, you get to the Nuclear Throne, at which point you have to try to successfully kill it. If you do so, you then loop, otherwise you have died. Better luck next time. Type of deal. Oh, I should have taken that so I can use the car. That's a shame. Love realizing things in complete retrospect. Oh well, only so much I can do about that. Let's just get the rads. So, every time you fill up on rads, this will change numbers, as you've seen. It will let you select a mutation. I know I'm explaining this a little late in, but oh well. Each mutation has its own benefits and, I mean, not really downsides, it's just like you have this instead of something else. Like, I'm going to take homing bolts, which may seem pointless due to my lack of bolt-based weapon, but it's good. And a nightmare to get when you do have a homing-based weapon. Bolt-based weapon, that's the word I was looking for. So, worth a shot. Like, Rhino Skin is nice to have, just extra health. Seems like a pretty universal trait. But I'm more of a crossbow guy, so once I find any crossbow, it's replacing this grenade launcher. Not necessarily because it's better, but just because it's more useful for me. As I don't know, it's kind of just the meta that I have evolved with myself. Whether or not there's any legitimate strategy involved, I don't know. Oh crap. So, what I've just done there is I've powered up... What the hell? What I've done there is I've powered up an altar with a load of rads, which brings me to the Crown Vault. The Crown Vault consists of a room like this, where you step on it, you go into a portal, and you can pick one of the crowns. These usually add a challenge with the benefit of you get certain buffs, such as Crown of Life. You don't get health drops at all, ever again, unless you get rid of the crown. But at the end of each area, your health resets to max. If you already have max, you overheal. You know, a pretty good crown. So long as you're not someone who takes damage in the middle of a run, like I do a lot. Yeah, this is not a good time for me to have that. Oh well, too late. Like I said, I take damage in the middle of runs a lot. So, I should have mentioned, every character has a unique ability. Fish can roll. YV shoots 2 bullets at once if they right-click, or use their ability. Right-click is just the default bind. Okay, that's annoying. Eyes can use telekinesis to pull things towards them. Rogue has... there's a load of them. Now, one thing to note is that most of what I'm messing with probably doesn't exist in the base game. Seeing as, Ultramod adds a lot. Yeah. So what happened there was I got revived because I had this. Last Wish. So, yeah, that's gonna be useless for me to get now. Which is fine, you know. Just means I am immensely concerned. So, that's my best option, isn't it? Trying to get into a Crown Vault. Because otherwise I'm going to be stuck here until I die. Granted, a Crown Vault isn't going to help much with that. Or I'll die. But as you can see, I made it to 5B_2. Now what I should have done there was just hit retry, but oh well. There are loads of characters here. So, you know what? Let's do it some eyes. Before I went random, which brought me to YV, which, not bad. But I feel like I do significantly better with eyes than I do most others. Although I do pretty good with crystal as well. So eyes telekinesis can do many things. Mainly push enemies' bullets away whilst bringing them physically closer. Same with items and various other useful things such as rad containers, rads themselves, guns, etc. You know, pretty good. The downside there is now you have an enemy in your face that you have to deal with. Which isn't the best thing in the world, as you can probably guess by the way I've phrased that. But so be it. Sometimes that is just the optimal thing. In fact, I have just remembered something that I'm going to turn on for the sake of the video. Ooh, crap. It's not related to eyes, it's just simply something I'd forgotten. Boss intros. So, this is the Big Bandit. As you will have briefly seen there. He's big, he's another bandit. He likes doing murder, I guess. Rats are one of the most annoying enemies I've ever fought in this game. And I refuse to elaborate on that. Oh, it also pushes away toxic. Cool. Variable pistol. Is that worth it though? No. It's not bad, but it's not worth it. So yeah. That's the basic gist of most of this game. Obviously there's loads of nuance here and there. Like how every individual mutation has some useful things. There's probably some story behind it all. I don't care. So, as fun as this game is, let's put it this way. There's a reason why I have Ultramod installed. Because it's an amazing game. I'm not going to deny that. It's great. That's why I've been playing it a lot. But its downside is, by default, it didn't have much... Well, not much in the way in replayability, but in the sense of... You start replaying it and it starts feeling very samey. Whereas, once I threw in Ultramod, which adds in loads of new guns and vague mechanics and mutations, it kind of sparked a new enjoyment into it for me. So it's one of those. It's a game that is comparatively quite old, but honestly, I'd say it's still fine, even in its base state. It's just a case of I got way too used to it. Not good, but too used to the same sort of enemies, the lack of much in the way of bullet hell truly is. Which kind of was a pretty big downside for me. Because it didn't so much take away the enjoyment of the game, but it just detracted from the overall preference towards it. Look, bullet hell's great. And I should note, without Ultramod, that cutscene is much cooler for each of those, and many more. But at least this way I don't have to entirely remember to introduce Big Dog or each of the others as they appear. Now, I've used up pretty much all the toxic thrower ammo, so I'll just... Oh, that's fine. Did not want to... Okay, that's fine. These are annoying, I'll admit, but they're not terrible. Like, definitely manageable. Same with most of these, so long as that doesn't happen. So, let's go with Rebel. Alright. So Rebel, yeah, I haven't mentioned them yet, but they do something completely different. They clone themselves using health. Which is pretty damn useful, if I say so myself. Let's get that longer melee range, because that makes keeping a screwdriver on me actually worth it. Crap. That is the downside with Rogue's ability. Rogue? No, Rebel. I kid you not, I make this mistake so often. Not even because it makes sense, but just because... Oh, they have names, because Ultramod stuff, I'm pretty sure. That's cool. That's neat. That's interesting. You know? Just adding that little bit... Oh crap, big bandit. So yeah, the clones decay after a little bit of time, but it's not the worst. I have realized I kind of just autopiloted that first run that I did, so I'll explain some of the things I did retroactively. This is, well, obviously, a sewer grate. If you blow it up, in a default game it just summons the portal. In this, it will kind of give you the choice to go to Pizza Land, as I sometimes refer to it as, which is just simply where some mutant turtles live and will try to murderize you, but you also get a golden item out of it in Ultramod, but I don't think you do in the base game, because I'm pretty sure the only way to get a golden item, which is pretty much permanent-ish, you can choose to have specific ones when you load in. The only way in base game that I know of is to hit the golden car with the screwdriver. The golden car is usually on that level there, but I guess they blew it up whilst I wasn't there. Fun. Don't you love RNG mechanic? But that's also pretty much the only reason to keep a screwdriver around, is for the golden car. Melee attacks can destroy bullets, simply put, whereas just projectiles are, well, still projectiles. So be it. The only bullets that aren't destroyed by melee attacks are the ones that go through walls. This is the Crown of Destiny, which, as you saw there, free mutation, narrow future, which basically means you get less options in each of the mutation screens, but you get a free one at that point in time, so you don't get as much of a downside with that as you do most of the others, so long as you can tolerate having slightly less options. Which I can, which is why it's usually my go-to. And because it just has the least downsides out of all of them. So, you know, fair enough, I'd say. Just annihilate him. Nothing more. Just simply annihilate. As you can tell there, the stage, we'll call it, isn't over when the boss dies, it's over when everything dies. Because right now, there's one crow who remained. Which is always fun. Hunting down the last enemy. Ground speed's nice, but not that nice. You'll notice I haven't been using Rebel's ability very much. Again, it's not because it's bad, but because I'm bad at keeping health. As proven by the fact that I, for some absurd reason, melee attacked an explosive enemy who blows up where they are. What a genius move that was. Granted, I didn't die. Wow, that tune was annoying. So, you know, you pretty much just cram bullets into it whenever its hatch opens to do a bit more damage, but I mean, if you have a flame SMG and loads of just bullets, just go for it, you know? Why wait for it to open its little damage pit when you can just shred it? Oh, and these stars, they're not just like, you know, this thing is a 5-star weapon because luck or whatever. No, it's an objective rating where it does simply do more damage and is considerably less likely to spawn. As far as I've been able to gather from just gameplay. Because most of my understanding of each of these mechanics is purely based on gameplay. After all, not every mod for every game has a wiki. Now, you may be wondering, hey, you have a crown, why are you entering the crown vault again? There's two simple answers for that. The first one being because I can, and the second one being because the second time around you get to put modifiers on your weapons. Like how I can give my... If I wanna... Hold on. Homing just makes lasers and lightning or kraken more accurate. Yeah, I'll put it on this. There we go. So now the lightning will be significantly more likely to target an actual enemy. Now you see these guys? These guys are annoying. They also show up the second time round, and they will try to kill you for taking another crown. So you either fight them first or after. It doesn't matter, you won't teleport until they're dead is the point. Additionally, it's another free mutation, so, you know, we'll take it. Why not? Especially when you get a bit of a level cap at a point where you just simply reach level ultra as a character. So then you have to pick an ultra mutation and you just... Oh, that's a bad spot for me. Never mind, Little Hunter's already dead. I want to point out, I usually struggle with Little Hunter a lot. Hence my complete and utter surprise to the fact that he died like that. Is this actually that powerful? With homing? Alright, sure. Oh yeah, 2 taps crystals. Cool. The heavy popgun's nice, but I honestly think the flame revolver, flame SMG is more useful to me than that. Which is, again, a sort of personal build type deal. Like how I have a preference to crossbows and crossbows. Like the pump gun, great, amazing weapon. I will take it 9 times out of 10, unless my other choices are, well, director shotguns and crossbows, usually. Because they're just powerful. Crossbows, because it has a literal mutation about it. The big bad bat. It was a lot easier to dodge than you'd think. That's fine, just avoid the main ones. Aim high, struggle because you're low on ammo. Crap. Okay. I'm going to call it there. On this epic screen. Because... well, much like Magicite, it's not a game I can personally play for more than 25-30 minutes at a time, unless I have a really good run going. So maybe one of these days I'll do some Risk of Rain 2, where you'll be able to truly see how long I can go in a bullet hell that isn't 2D. Because that is one of my biggest problems. 2D bullet hells. Anyway, too much rambling. To get on with the point. See you next week for Game of the Week. Goodbye.